Welcome to Intro to Acoustic Guitar. We're going to start off very basically with a few things about the guitar itself, the tuning, and the basic chords that we'll be working with. So we have here our acoustic guitar. In this case, mine has what's called a cutaway, which allows me to gain a little more space as I get higher on the neck. This whole thing's called the fretboard. Each fret, you're moving up one note, or what's known in music theory as a half step. And we have 6 strings on our guitar. In this case, we're going to be using mostly standard tuning, if not always standard tuning, which is E, A, D, G, B, and once again, E. You want to make sure that you're playing in tune first and foremost, just a good thing for your ears. And yeah, with that, we're going to jump into the basic chords we'll be working with, which is pretty much entirely going to be major chords, minor chords, and sevenths. So to break down conceptually, let's go with our E chords. So E chord is low E is open. On your A string, you're going to be on the 2nd fret with your middle finger. On your D string, you're going to be 2nd fret on your ring finger, or your 3rd finger. On the G string, you're going to be 1st fret with your 1st finger, and then everything else is going to be open. You want to play them all. Nice big E major chord. So, what connotes a major chord? In this case, it is the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th of the major scale. So we have the 1st with E, and then we have the 3rd here, right? No, we have the 5th actually, just based on where we're going. So we have the 5th here, which is B. And then we actually have the 1st again because we've gone 2 frets up. So you can actually play your low E as well as what is your D string, and you'll make just the same sound. Then here we have a G sharp, your 3rd. And then once again we have a B and we have an E. So in total we have 3 E's, 2 B's, and 1 G sharp. And actually, you can tune your guitar up to just this exact tuning in what's called open E tuning. But let's say that you don't want to play a major chord, you want to play a minor chord, in which case we are going to be flatting the 3rd. So instead of having that G sharp, and it's really easy with this E chord because we only have 1/3 to worry about, no G sharp, instead take your finger out entirely, it's just a G. Now if you play that, very different sounds. So that's our E minor as opposed to the E major. Last thing we're going to be looking at is a 7th chord. 7th chord is basically the same as, and in this case, just for music theory purposes, we were talking about dominant 7ths. A major 7th is the 7th, but it's a half step up. Dominant 7th is when instead of, we still usually play the root, but somewhere we're going to throw in a note 1 whole step below the root, aka, so if our root is E, we're going to go down 2. So where do we throw that in with our E chord? Well, generally you can do one of 2 things. You can add on your pinky on your B string at the 3rd fret here, so that'll sound like this, as opposed to or we can just remove our ring finger, which again was on the D string, and you'll get a sound like this. You can even do both. So that's it. We're just going to be dealing with major chords, minor chords, 7ths. Got the fretboard here. And yeah, with that, let's start learning some songs.